All right. I'm excited about this episode.
You are?
I am.
You're going to tell me what it is?
Yes, I'm going to tell you in a second. First, I'm going to welcome our friends back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Sheena Interrupted.
This is the #1 podcast you're listening to right now.
Yep.
Right now. #1.
And I think you guys are going to enjoy this episode.
I think you worked hard on this episode because you've secretly been laboring away.
Yes.
But I don't know if it's secretly when you're sitting on the dining room counter typing furiously.
I was very furiously typing.
It's been a very, very active few days.
Yes, it has.
It's funny how this is like the time we catch up.
I know.
Weeks.
I know.
So how you been?
I've been great.
You been good?
I've been busy.
You have been busy. I don't know. I get to the room, you're already asleep.
Yeah.
I wake up, you're gone because you're doing the stuff in the morning that I can't do because I'm going to sleep so late.
Yep, that's right.
So this is fun. Two ships
Passing
sleeping in the same dock.
Yeah, we're not even passing in the night. We're just like...
We're passed out in the night.
Yep, it's true. It's been a rough couple weeks. I want to say since you went to LA a couple of weeks ago, we haven't really stopped.
We hadn't stopped before that. Since May, we haven't stopped since India.
Yeah, it's been a really crazy few months.
I think it finally calms down on Monday.
Nope.
Because we're going on this. Well,
we have
by
2
the time
weeks
this
and then we go to LA again.
What's in LA?
VidCon.
Am I invited?
Yes, you are invited. You're very much invited.
Yes, I want to go.
Anyone in the LA area who would like to join us at VidCon, we're going to be there at the end of the month.
I'm so excited, as you can tell, to be in LA in 2 weeks.
We will calm down after VidCon.
We have 2 weeks in between.
Yes.
That's an eternity.
Yep.
And after VidCon, that means... Wait, kids are done school then?
Oh, kids are done in like 10 days.
Yeah, so by the time the LA trip, they're just done school.
Yep.
And then it's summer camp city.
Yep.
And travel for... do we have travel this summer?
Not too much. We're going to lay low. We're going to have our hands full no matter what we do. So let's just...
I still enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll just embrace the journey.
I still enjoy it.
You're telling yourself that.
I still enjoy it. I love recording.
Yes,
I
you
love
do.
being busy.
Yes, you do.
Busy is good.
Yep.
That's what they tell you.
Have you ever heard they tell you when you want to get something done, you go to the busiest person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
That's what's happening.
That's exactly. Okay, so
People want things done.
Do you want to know what today's episode is about?
It's about how I realized just now that I also, apparently after this, I'm going to pick up a shift at Target. Thanks for these pants. Thanks for my Target employee pants.
But the pants are not Target employee pants. It's because you wore it with a red
t-shirt. It's either
t-shirt.
or. You pick. You can only do one or the other. You can't
could
wear
have
these
worn,
together.
No, you cannot.
Unless you want to help people.
You could have worn it with just a white t-shirt and you would have not looked like a Target employee.
I know.
But that's fine.
But now I know.
All right.
It doesn't go high enough.
So do you want to change before we do the episode?
No, I'm not changing. I got to shift. I'm going to wear this to Target and just help people. Can we make a video of that? Just dressed in khakis and a red top. And then just like an earpiece. And just walk around with a clipboard. People are like, what do we do about this? And we just give them answers. I'll give them asinine Target advice. Like, where do I get the bread? Oh, it's beside the tires. We're trying something new.
You're just going to say random aisle
Why was
numbers?
it by the tires? Because if you eat it, that's what you're going to get around your waist. So we like to keep it together. Just give them bad answers for everything.
That's terrible.
Where's the oat milk? It's beside the bubble bath.
Why?
Because
in case
they're
you're
both
itchy?
spongy. Yeah, you can sleep in the oat milk. You could sleep in the bubble bath. They're both good for, what's that thing you get on your stomach when you're pregnant sometimes? Remember we had to put you, pups.
A rash.
Yeah, you have to sit in an oat milk bath.
Not oat milk, oatmeal.
But imagine oatmeal with oat milk.
That's
in the
not
bath.
a thing.
You haven't tried.
Okay,
Don't knock it.
Hopefully I don't
Who
have
works
to...
at Target, me or you?
Okay, so today's episode is, drum roll please.
Am I supposed to, do you have a button you press or is that supposed to be me?
It's the Father's Day episode.
Did I miss Father's Day? It was last week?
No, Father's Day is coming up.
You who listening to the #1 podcast right now, can put up one hand
Yes.
And if you have all of your digits,
yeah,
you count 1 day for each. And by the time you reach the 5th finger, it will be Father's Day.
6th?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
Still landing on Sunday?
Fingers,
Yeah.
5th
Okay.
finger. Yeah. So it's Father's Day in 5 days.
This week. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
I'll be more excited then.
No, I think.
But I thought I missed Father's Day. I thought you scared me for a second.
Do you know that your son actually thought that he missed Father's Day?
Because we said something this weekend. What did we tell them?
He said he wanted to get you AirPods for Father's Day because he lost your earphones. So he asked me if we could get you AirPods for Father's Day, and I told him, okay, I'll get him for Father's Day. And then you showed him your AirPods.
I ordered some because they lost both my sets.
So he saw your AirPods after having asked me to buy him the AirPods. So and then he looked at me and he said, was Father's Day yesterday?
Did we miss it?
Did you give it to him yesterday?
Yeah.
And I said, yes. And he said, wait, was it yesterday? And I said, yes, it was yesterday. Did you wish him? And he said, no, I forgot.
Yeah. Wait, why didn't he come wish me after you did all this?
I told him, wait, didn't you wish Dad a happy Father's Day? And he said, no, I didn't.
But then he just didn't even come to wish me belated.
Then he looked at me and he was all suspicious.
Oh, he
and then
figured it out before.
Yeah.
He broke you.
Yeah.
You should have
dug a little.
Did Zara fall for this?
No, Zara, I tried.
Yeah.
But Zara said no. Father's Day is on the 16th.
Oh, she knew already.
She knew.
Because she's the type that does her homework early.
She
probably
does.
has a plan for the card, everything.
Yeah, she does.
This guy's going to do it on the back of whatever junk mail comes on Saturday that he gets from the mailbox.
Or Sunday morning.
Fold it in a paper airplane and say, oh, look. Yeah. Outdoor gym. Outdoor play set.
Well, then he was doing his research today. He opened one of those value packs.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
What is he getting me? A gutter cleaning system?
Or a pool.
Or a pool, yeah. One or the other.
The two. All right. So
how crazy is it that the kids are involved in the demise of both pairs within 1 week apart?
Yeah, 1 week of each other.
So I went from having two, one when I had the AirPods originally, then I got the Bose ones. I started using those as like my backup. Mm-hmm. You essentially just use those now, right?
Yeah, I love those.
And
he took my other ones. He took my AirPods.
Yeah. So the kids lost my AirPods on a plane.
Yeah.
Because I was teaching them that you could use the feature where you could both listen at the same time. Mm-hmm. And they were so excited about it. And then none of them gave me back the AirPods.
And they got left behind.
True story.
Yeah.
I then went to find my AirPods. Yeah. And you know this.
Yes.
And I saw that they were no longer at the airport.
Yeah.
But they were at someone's house in a town 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from the airport. Mm-hmm. And I had a moment of posting and saying, hey, dear person who lives at this address, I think you somehow mistook my AirPods with a sticker of a tiger on it, which you probably had too.
Yeah.
But then I opted against that because,
it's his good fortune or her good fortune.
Yeah, so be it.
Yep.
And then not like a week later when I'm using my Bose ones and I'm fine,
I have a feeling those will come back.
He literally had them in the car.
Yes.
And then we were going somewhere. We said, just leave it inside. He left it inside. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yep. So that was last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah.
No, but at this point, when this comes out, it'll be 2 weeks ago.
True. I have a feeling
they'll show up.
That they will show up somewhere. This is a really nice segue because I think you handled that like a champ.
What?
You didn't get mad. You didn't get annoyed. You tried to explain to them what the lesson was, but you kind of jumped into dad mode. And
what are you referring to?
How you handled the loss of your AirPods.
Which ones? I had so much practice this month.
Both of them.
Both of them?
Both of
them.
Yeah. You got better. Like the second time.
I was like, they're looking forward to losing my things. I'm so good at this conversation now.
No, I actually think that you did a really good job because you didn't get mad at them, but you didn't let them off the hook.
Wait, what was the consequence? I made them look around for it.
You made them look. Like you continuously encouraged them to look. And I think that they both felt badly with their respective searches, that I don't think that you laid into them super hard, but at the same time you kind of appreciated the fact that they were not, like, oh, no big deal,
It's all about intent.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Okay, so first question.
Oh, this is a Q&A session?
This is a Q&A.
Okay.
So remember when we did the Mother's Day episode?
Oh, I know.
You remember what happened? I gave you like a bunch of questions that I had started looking through.
Yeah. You still have those?
Well, no, not anymore, because I rewrote the whole thing.
Oh, because we used the whole thing
from the point of view for a father. Right. I did a whole new set of research, but this is sort of how I was expecting the episode to go.
So we'll get it right this time.
Yes.
We'll do it better the second time.
Yes, exactly. What does it mean to you to be a father?
You don't want the birds and the bees answer of
No.
You're not talking science. No. Okay, so you're talking like, what is it?
Like, I don't need a biology lesson. Thank you very much.
What does it mean to be a father?
What does being a father mean to you?
It means taking a piece of your heart out.
Yes.
And putting it in two humans, for me, one first, then another. Mm-hmm. I think what it is your heart regenerates. So you take some of it out, you give it to your significant other. It regenerates. Then you and the significant other have a kid. So you pull out a bigger piece and they pull out a bigger piece and you jam it in. And that's how you get the heart of the little one. And it regenerates. If you have another one, you do it again. And it's essentially the biggest responsibility you have. Mm-hmm. Not just to the child, but to the world. Because if you do your job right, the world's better. Because you've created a better participant in that world, in the collective karma. Mm-hmm. So that's what it is. It's an extension of you. It's an extension of those who came before you. Mm-hmm. And I think it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. I heard somewhere that when you have a child or you're responsible for a child, your responsibility, like you said, does not end there, right? You're making the world better. That child has the ability to impact thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in their lifetime. And so you don't even realize the impact that you are having on the world
through that individual.
Child or through that human.
And that's not the reason.
No, that's not the reason.
To even do it. It's just because it allows you to experience things you never could experience before.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you share a favorite memory that you have with each child?
I don't have.
You don't?
I don't think so. Do you think I have some?
I'm sure
can you think of something where you're like, hey, that was pretty cool? I honestly, I don't think of big quote unquote moments.
No, I don't think they're big moments.
I love laughing with them at dinner, but pick which dinner.
I'll give you
that. We do that regularly.
I mean, I have one of Zara.
Yeah.
That I remember of you and Zara interacting. We went to Universal Studios. She was like a year and change, and she was dancing back and forth, and you were throwing that hat on her head.
Oh,
and she was like dying of laughter.
That crazy laughter she did. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a really amazing moment. Funnily enough, when you said that, I don't picture Zara as a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old or a 3-year-old, whatever she was back then. I picture her as the young woman she is now.
Yeah.
So my brain is automatically trying to think of a memory, and it could be as simple as having gone on a bike ride a week ago where we're chatting about things.
Yeah.
Mainly for me, I think if I see my kids laughing, that's one of the best highlights or memories.
What about the time that you made Jay laugh so much that he threw up?
It's true story. But it was again at the dinner table or around our dinner counter, because we never actually sit at a table. We sit at our kitchen counter. And the guy kept going, and he tried. I warned him, don't swallow, don't put liquid in your mouth. You know,
you did not.
They've been warned historically. They should never put liquid in their mouth. That's like they're sitting ducks.
I was warning them.
And he tried to drink something, and he started laughing, and he threw up on the floor. Like he vomited his food on the floor, and then he turned, looked at me, said, "You got to clean that up because you did it." And then he went to the bathroom.
He was so mad at you.
Yeah, I did it. So then I went and cleaned it up. And while I'm cleaning, I'm like, this is so dumb. Why am I cleaning this? He's the one who should be cleaning it.
And it became this like recurring thing.
Yeah, now we have a rule in the house. If you lose liquids from your body, you have to clean it up. So put that on your family rules wall, people.
If you make your children vomit.
The child has to clean up their own vomit if they cannot hold. If you can't hold your liquids, don't come to my kitchen. I would love to have a camera in our kitchen.
No.
I don't care about anyone else seeing it.
Yeah.
But if I captured every dinner conversation we had, I think at some point we would have 100 of these episodes that I could watch on the most depressing day and snap out of. Because having them, and I'm focusing on them because this is a Father's Day episode, but it includes you in terms of watching the interaction. Though me and you end up playing more the role of observer because you're enjoying the moment. The other two are just losing it. And I get fueled. Like the more they lose it, the more I'm encouraged to keep going. And sometimes it's an hour and it's the best hour of the week, just having everyone freak out until one vomits and makes you clean it. That's not cool. Jay, you know the rule. You puke, you clean it up.
It only happened one time.
Yeah, because we made the rule. Now they hold their liquids.
Nobody has ever vomited since.
Just that once.
Just that one time.
Hey, it was still better than the time he vomited and you had to clean it up.
That was terrible.
Because it was in your eyelashes, in your nose, in your mouth.
Right on my face. But he was like 8 months old in his defense.
Yep. Yet you still let him have it. You let him have it so bad.
I did not.
Probably shit himself right after you yelled at him.
I took him for a shower.
After. You yelled at him.
I didn't yell.
She was holding him, standing against the wall.
I didn't yell at him.
Well, you just yelled for me, but I'm in a different floor. He doesn't speak at that age. He just yelled in his face. He was not well. He was 8 months old. So Sheena goes to pick him up in his room out of the crib, is standing with her back to the wall, holds him up. And you know the kids, they can do the exorcist vomit at that age. He just launches a vomit right in her face. So it bounces off her face, goes on the wall. She's holding him and she just yells, "Help!" I'm 2 floors away. So she yells through his face. So now he's shit himself. He's crying. He doesn't know why she's yelling at him like this. I get upstairs. She moves away from the wall and you see the outline. Like, you know, they draw chalk people on the floor. You see an outline on the wall of her head covered around vomit. Even that vomit I had to clean. Every time this kid pukes, I have to clean it up. What the heck's going on?
Come on. I was literally vomited on.
Yeah, but you went in the shower with him. I cleaned the vomit outline.
I definitely think that you won in that scenario.
No.
Are you kidding me?
No way.
You would rather have been
vomited on like on
your face.
How quick did that finish? That finished in 2 seconds. You're in the shower. You threw him in the washing machine and you went.
Remember? She brought her phone. I was like, what are you doing?
She had to capture the moment. She was an influencer before any of us.
Irritated.
Yeah, now we know.
Like, put your damn phone away.
Is there a video of that now?
There is not. Because I'm scared her.
See? That's why she brought her phone. Don't you wish we had it now?
I do not.
I do. I would love to have that photo.
I'm so glad that we do not have that on camera.
I wish we had that.
Okay. Any other memories? These are all my memories.
This is probably a good thing.
What? That you don't have memories?
Yeah, I don't. That's why I write on my wall.
Yeah.
Just to plow forward.
Yeah. That's one way to do it. I like the memories. Like, I actually have a journal on my phone. It's called the Grateful Journal. And every time there's a memory that I feel like I want to hold on to, I'll take a picture of it. Like, it doesn't have to be a perfect picture.
I love that.
It's just like
love
a
thinking
little
about it.
Snapshot, and then I write the things that I was feeling in that particular moment. And I think it's really special.
I like the idea of going back and thinking about these things and having... That's why I like now on the phone sometimes there's the 1 year ago today and these like things pop up.
Yeah.
I like those. It's a good reminder, but I don't think
you don't have a particular favorite memory that
I don't spend time thinking, oh, this was really good. For better or for worse. I don't know.
It just is. It's one way of doing it, and there's other ways. And I think you can find a happy medium too. Like, if you wanted to start remembering things, you could do a journal, or you could just like jot things down at the end of the day if you wanted to, or you could Just
go to Target.
Go to
do another shift. Get a shampoo, right. 50% off.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
This year has gone by so quickly.
I know. It's already June.
6 months.
I know.
Already almost done.
We are in the middle of the Father's Day episode. We're in June.
That's it. Father's Day is halfway through the year.
Yes, it is.
What have you done so far in 2024? What are your highlights?
Gosh, we've done so many amazing things. I can't even think of them like off the top of my head. I think I've been in like 5 different states in...
That was just in May.
That was just in May.
So imagine, you have so many more you'll do.
I know. It's been...
How do you keep it all under control?
It's been a little crazy. I actually like to go back and check in with my therapist because I feel it makes me stop and take a minute to reflect on those things. It makes me think about the things that I'm grateful for, and it makes me put those things into perspective too. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It is quick, it's easy, it's online. They match you up with a licensed therapist. And if you're not happy with them, they'll switch it out very, very easily. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire online. Take a moment. Visit betterhelp.com/Sheena today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Sheena. Are you concerned about your or a loved one's relationship with food? In our society, it can be hard to tell what behaviors are considered normal and what could be a sign of an eating disorder. Equip is a virtual evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps you or a loved one heal your relationship with food and your body, all while staying at home. Each person is provided with a dedicated care team, including a therapist, a dietitian, a doctor, and a mentor who specialize in treating all types of eating disorders. Equip meets you where you are by providing culturally competent care that's covered by insurance. There is a stereotype that eating disorders only affect thin white women, but they affect everyone equally, including people of color, men, people in larger bodies, and people of all ages, including young children and older adults. If you're concerned about yourself or a loved one's relationship with food, don't wait to get an expert's advice. Visit Equip.health/Sheena to get a free consultation and learn more about Equip's virtual eating disorder treatment. That's Equip.health/Sheena. My next question is, how has fatherhood changed you, do you think, as a man?
I think I'm a lot more patient.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm a lot more loving. Mm-hmm. I think I'm a lot more everything. I think I'm better in every single way, except energy levels.
Mm.
I think I'm more tired.
Mm-hmm.
I have no decisions to date as a dad that I think about regularly saying, oh, I wish I did that a different way.
Mm. That's amazing.
So I feel like, I'm not saying everything's been perfect,
right?
But seeing where we are today, the risk, all these time travel movies, you go back, you move one grain of sand, next thing you know, Elon Musk is president. You're like, wait, what just happened here?
Right.
Like there's too many ripple effects.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change anything because of
because as
everything
a parent, you
we
make
are now.
Mistakes, right? You're bound to make mistakes. You're bound to make choices that are not necessary. Like you learn from them, right? There are definitely things that we've done that we've recalibrated and done differently going forward. But I think you're right. Like I wouldn't go back and change any of the things that we did, even if they were wrong.
I think with you, I would, as parents, but not one-on-one with the kids.
How so?
I feel like a lot of the learning has come as co-parents. Like the learning has come by watching the other person, by getting guidance from the other person of, oh, this is what I saw, this is what you saw. But the one-on-one with the kids where they don't have the benefit of that, like they don't have the benefit of years of life. Mm-hmm. It's just a one-on-one. It's a very vulnerable situation for them. Mm-hmm. And I think the fact that we are where we are today is evidence to how well we did. It's the best thing we've ever, like we've done a lot of cool things, but having children like who are kind and confident and funny and, just good humans, what I must be better than I was before because we're doing something that's translating this way.
Very sweet. What do you think makes you a good father?
Good kids. It's circular, but on purpose. Remember that saying? Kids come through you, but not to you. Like, I believe that. They're our kids.
They're our responsibility.
They're our responsibility for a short period of time. They then, and we're starting to experience this more so with Jay. Zara will be soon to follow. But we are doing our responsibility now, which is a gift to help them find their footing. They then go out and build their own world. Hopefully those tools are helpful and they realize that they have resources in us as they build their own path. Then they'll be independent. They'll be on their own. And at some point, we'll become dependent on them. So
I hope not too dependent.
Life is what it is. Who knows what will happen? But the idea of going through you means they are themselves. They're their own entities. They're their own souls. They're their own life. They're their own everything. So they make you better.
You think
also,
they pull out the best parts of you?
For the most part. I mean, there's obviously frustrations. There's all these things that you have to deal with, but you don't remember those things. Like, my default isn't that. My default isn't my child is such a blank or this or that. I hear people say that, like, sort of in passing. It bothers me, honestly, when I hear parents say negative things about their own kids, even if they're joking. Because you're the adult. That's your responsibility. Like, try to address it.
It's like, you know, when you see people that are in relationships and their kids are, I mean, their significant other, whoever that person they're with, is not good for them. They bring out, like, crappy things in them. And then all of a sudden they land with somebody that's, like, perfect for them. And you say, oh, they bring the best out of you. I think kids can have a tendency to do that too. Like, the kids that come through you, they bring the best. They have the possibility to bring the best out of you.
You can be unlucky. You can play a part in it. We definitely play a big part in it, but they play an even part. So at some point that transfers. And I think we're there. Like, in the beginning, we give them, I don't know, 0 to 5. We give them the tools. We're the best things for them. 5 to 10, it starts shifting. You know, now we're in the 10 to 15 zone. And now they can bring the best out of you.
Do you
Maybe
feel like
going
they
forward.
Teach you regularly? They teach you things too?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
When was the last time that you felt like, oh, this was a good lesson for me too? From either one of them?
I feel like regularly I watch both of them manipulate you, and I like to learn from them. They're showing new tricks, and they do it completely differently. One just barges in and just says, I know there's going to be consequences. I don't give a shit, and just, like, pounds through. And the other one just continues to play the role of, like, innocent. I don't know anything that's going on. I'll just lay here and not say anything. Neither of those techniques I've tried, because one is just too brutal. I'm scared. The other one is just, I can't believe it works.
You're trying to learn how to manipulate
I'm learning different, not just you, the whole world. Like, if you see me fighting with someone aggressively, I'm like, I don't care about the consequence. This person can't really stick with anything they say. You'll know I learned that from Jay. If, like, I get a cop pulls me over and when they say get out of the car, I'm like, can I lay in your lap? I learned that from Zara. I would never adopt that technology. I would never try this technique. But now with her, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it works. You're learning all the time. Their conversations, watching them grow, watching them deal with their own environment and their friendships and, you know, all of that. You go through their...
But they've learned that from us too.
But it's always mixing. It's like they've learned it from you and then they've adopted it with their own strategies, with their own friends, with all other things. And it gets morphed. And then now you're learning from them. And then, you know, you're constantly evolving. I forgot the question, but I like the answer.
what was the question? The last thing you learned from them?
And then, once in a while, a bird will make a noise and be like, oh, that's a morning sparrow. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's great. But that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah. Zara is very good at that.
Yeah. They learn all these things.
Okay. So close your eyes for a second and think back to when you found out that we were going to have a child. What was your first thought when you first found out that you were going to be a dad?
When did you tell me? Remind me. You told me the story recently to tee me up for this.
3 weeks ago.
What was it? Oh, you peed on a stick.
Yeah, you were with me.
Yeah. This is what I told you. I don't hang on to these.
You don't remember.
I don't. I remember now vaguely because that bathroom was so disgusting. It's easy to remember.
It was not disgusting.
The
was
wall
just
was
small.
No, the wallpaper was peeling all the time. It was yellow.
Yeah.
A yellow tub.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be that moment,
Yeah.
but like
when it hit.
Yeah, that time. So there were 9 months leading up to from not having children to having children. There was this time period in between where it was like, I'm going to be a dad. What were some of those feelings that you remember feeling?
Excitement and fear, probably in equal parts. Not
You
a
were
fear,
scared?
not a fear of being a dad, but a fear of being supportive to the family, to you, while being at a critical juncture professionally at the exact same time. So I don't remember almost that whole year.
After he was born?
Late nights, the early mornings, that was a rough year.
There's a particular time when your babies are really, really little where and I think so many families feel this.
Don't hire anyone who just has a child at home who's pretending they know what they're doing.
Absolutely not. You absolutely have to hire them.
Question them.
And you have to support them.
Why are you talking such gibberish?
You have to support them.
I'm not saying don't give them money. Give them donation. Don't hire them to do your work.
No, you have to support them.
All of a sudden you'll get things in the wrong place. And
new parents need support.
Would you get your hair cut by someone who just had a baby?
Yeah, why not?
Because they'll cut your hair in a different style.
So?
That's what I did.
Hair. You can get it recut.
That's what we should do.
What?
We should start a restaurant.
Okay.
Where all the wait staff has to have a child under 1 at home.
Why?
Because they're just going to bring you all kinds of random food. They're going to bring you random drinks. They'll call you random names because they don't know what they're doing. They're walking around like zombies.
Not everybody doesn't know what they're doing.
For sure. Look, I've been there. You've all been there. If you've had a kid under 1 at home and you tried to keep your professional life going, you did a horrible job. I did a horrible job. I'm sure I messed up all kinds of things. You should get a discount for working with someone who's only half awake. That's a new business. Come to my restaurant if you have a kid at home. We'll pay you. And all the restaurateurs, the people who are willing to eat there gets half off. Free, just for supporting this madness. Sure. Like a zombie restaurant.
Okay. All right. My next question is, what is the most rewarding thing about being a dad?
Hugs.
That's the most rewarding thing? When they come and they give you hugs?
Yeah.
That's your favorite thing?
Mm-hmm. They still do it. Mm-hmm. They used to come running to the door.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
No.
I think sometimes they say, "What's up, broski?" when I walk in. Then I throw my shoe at them. It's a whole routine we have.
Yeah.
No, I think when they continue to show that when they need something or when they're looking for that comfort, they come to you. Mm-hmm. I don't know why that's rewarding, but it is.
Like it's that comfort that
feeling of like, okay,
that's
this is a safe space for you.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's rewarding for me instead of for them.
It's rewarding because I think it reminds you that you gave them that security.
Yeah, you did it right.
Yeah. It's almost like a selfish reward.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one time to be selfish.
Yeah.
When you know somebody else is getting a layer of comfort.
Absolutely.
Are these any of the answers you were expecting?
A lot of them.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them. And I think it's a nice thing to It's almost like you take a walk down memory lane and you remind yourself of all the good things that you've done and you've
But
built.
I feel like I haven't given you any moments.
Oh, that's okay.
I've instead given you concepts.
I think that's fine. That's
okay.
It's for however you want to.
Wake up. Bloody, yeah, you on the train, sitting there falling asleep while I'm telling you all the stories about my kids. Get up. This is not the normal episode.
No, this isn't. But that's okay. Like the Mother's Day episode was a little bit more sentimental. The Father's Day episode can be a little more sentimental too. What are the most important values that you would like to instill in our children?
You can't do that. You can't just say, it's not like a software program where you punch in what you want to do and they get it. But you have to live your life a particular way and they're going to absorb what they absorb.
Absolutely. But what are the things that you're like pushing for? What are you like, what are the things that if you see in your children, you feel like that was a success?
Kindness.
Yep.
Humor.
Yep.
Is there more?
Yep. I know there's one very important one for you.
It's not kindness or humor.
It's also those
There's
two.
a third.
Yeah. Independence.
Piece. Independence. Yeah. I like independence.
Yeah. I think those are like my big ones. I'm not as focused on independence because you're so focused on it.
Yeah.
But kindness is a big one for me and loving is a big one for me. Like just a loving
Isn't that
nature.
similar to kindness? Isn't that where it comes from? Like what's the root emotion for kindness? It's probably love. That'd be my guess.
I think that kindness and lovingness.
Would they not express themselves the same way?
I don't think so.
You could be a kind but dark-hearted person.
No, I've seen our kids be very kind to people, but they don't love them.
No, I'm not saying you have to love people. I'm just saying it comes from that same root. So you don't have to say kind. You could say love. But I think if you are a loving person and you see someone struggling, you'll say, okay, let me help them. And that, I think, helping, kindness, all of those come from the same root. Whereas, anger might be the root for frustration and argumentative and things like that. I don't know if there's any logic to any of this, but I think it comes from some greater thing. But for me, kindness, yes. Humor, independence, and honestly, just being smart. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's a trait.
I was thinking intelligence.
Intelligence,
but I don't think it's necessarily even like book smart. It's just being
smart,
sharp, like
all of the
street
above.
Smart. It could be book smart. It could be just kind of aware of your surroundings. It could be just all the things that make you more intelligent, emotionally.
And I don't think it doesn't have to be important to everyone, right? You asked me for me.
Yeah.
And it's not lost on me that, and you struggle with this a little bit, but I'm kind of describing how I see my own character traits.
Yeah.
So I struggle with that a little bit because you don't want to
project your own.
I don't want to at all project like this is what's good because this is what your dad thinks is good, or this is what your mom thinks is good. We live based on what we value.
Yeah.
And then as they go through that house on this relatively small period of time in their lives, they can pick up what they want to pick up, and then they will dispose what they want to dispose, and then you'll see what you get.
Yeah.
But those like for me are
EQ
probably
is higher on the scale than IQ. Like I think if our children have a strong EQ, I value that more than an IQ.
But again, it doesn't matter, right? What you and I value.
No,
it's whatever they ultimately will take away.
Yeah, but it's also, if you value those things, I think that those are the lessons that you end up talking about when you're having conversations. Those are the things you focus on when you're having your moments of one-on-one.
I try not to do that on purpose. Like I make a conscious effort to not try and highlight certain things because I think they're important. Try to live my life a particular way and they can see that. Mm-hmm. But I do not do it's important to be kind because.
No, and I don't think that anybody ever learned like that. I think that
that happens in the majority of situations
Yeah,
in
but I
terms of
think
how
that
learning happens.
Children mimic what they see.
Yeah.
More
Well,
than, like,
I'm
it's
just
almost
saying
that do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
No, they actually end up doing as you do, not as you say.
We could say that until we're blue in the face. But the truth is, the majority of us, and that's why I said I have to fight it. The instinct is to tell your kid what to do, not do as I do as I say. That's what most of us do. We don't actually live our lives in this ideal way that we want our kids to be. Like, we all want our kids to succeed where we didn't. We all want to help them better and see around the curve based on our experiences.
Yeah.
And I fight that, to not say to them, hey, this is important for this reason,
Right.
particularly where it's hypocritical.
Yeah.
But most people do that. And I'm not faulting anyone. It's just the nature of
easy to
parenting.
do
It's
that,
easy. It's like, don't sit here and eat all this junk I'm eating. Go eat fruit. How many times do we tell them, eat this, eat that? Meanwhile, what am I eating? I'm sitting there grabbing chips and things out of the closet. Right. So that's, to your earlier question, they've made me better in that way too. Like, I was dealing with all these health things. The last couple of years, I'm way more motivated to resolve that. Because of this drive to say, okay, I'm not just going to tell you to go do these things to take care of your body, like as if I've failed, right? So do what I'm saying because I couldn't do what I'm telling you. I've learned. You go do it. It's like, no, I'm going to also do it.
Right.
So you'll see me fight this thing at the same time. So when you see struggles in your life, you've already seen a myriad of things that your own family dealt with and resolved, hopefully in a positive manner.
Right.
You can either learn by following, or you can learn by watching people crash and say, huh?
Like, struggle through things.
Yeah, and say,
I don't want to do it like they
yeah,
did.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
I saw it, I don't want it, or I saw it and I do want it. And I'm trying to have a lot more of the I saw it and I do want it versus the I saw it and I don't want it.
Right.
Both are extremely valid
and effective.
Very effective learning tools.
Right. I have 2 more questions. If you could explain yourself as a father in 3 words, what would they be?
Loving, funny, always there. I cheated on the last one, but always on its own is useless and there is useless. So yeah, they need to go. It's hyphenated.
Okay.
Always there.
Okay.
It's just one word.
Okay.
Always there. Always stare.
All right. I think that's nice.
Always starey.
And I think that's pretty accurate too. Okay.
What are your 3?
This is not a Mother's Day episode. This is a Father's Day
No, what are your
episode.
3 for me as a father?
Oh. Loving. Security. And funny.
You said the same ones. You just didn't use always there. You used a synonym that was actually one word.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said the same ones though.
Sure.
But you didn't say always there. There's a difference.
I think that you give our entire family a sense of security. I don't think you're always there.
No, that's what I was going to say.
I actually
struggle
think that you
for
are
that.
not physically always there. I think you struggle with it, and I think you try to do your best to be there. And I think that that's just life. Like, we're busy. But I think that where you have succeeded is that you've given our entire family a huge sense of security, in that our kids, even if you're not around, they feel that they can call you. And they're not afraid to. They're not afraid to bother you. They're not afraid to run into your office and disturb you. They're respectful, but they have that comfort where you're concerned. And I think that you've given them financial security and just the security in their skin. And so I think security is more of a word that I would use to describe you. And then loving, you are extremely loving. And I think that that's just, like, I've seen you literally lay on top of them because you just can't bear to let them go. And then funny, the whole world knows how funny you are. And I just think that it would be a shame to leave that out. If you could share a little piece of advice to a new father or somebody who is an expectant father, what would you say? Are you crying?
No. You're crying. What would I say to an expectant father? I would say, don't freak out, because this is the most important thing you'll ever do. Take it easy, because if you mess this up, hundreds of thousands of people are going to be impacted, particularly you and everyone you love.
No big
but
deal.
That's all true. No big deal. I think I would say be careful how you balance the newfound responsibilities and that weight that you feel on your shoulders. Because if you spend too much time focusing on trying to make sure the people around you are okay, but you don't spend that time with those very people, you're going to miss out on some of the best years of your life. So it's a delicate balance. And it's telling that, you know, my response was always there. Your response was security. Yours is more accurate. But for me, it's important to say that because it's what I probably work on the most of all of these things. Mm-hmm. It's to be there. And my view of what it is to be there, it's okay to be balancing work and everything else, because I think that's a realistic depiction of what life will be. Mm-hmm. And I think as the kids have gotten older and as we've gotten more settled, I've been able to balance that better. Mm-hmm. So that's part of the advice to the new dad as well. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not always going to be the same. Mm-hmm. So make sure you spend the time recalibrating where you are so you don't fall into some pattern mm-hmm. and not go back to check. Like, it's okay to miss the birthday. It's okay to miss the event if there's a good reason. Mm-hmm. It's not okay to miss it because you missed the last one. Because the kids will feel that. They see that. They you know, they ultimately start either giving you 100% credit. So like, even when you're wrong, you get the benefit of the doubt if you did it right most of the time. Mm-hmm. So you have to strive to get that. Mm-hmm. And then once you have that, it just gets easier. Like, the base is there, and then they will feed you whatever you need to continue to do everything else you need to do. And you'll be able to do a lot more.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to say to your dad for Father's Day?
I would tell my dad that he is a lot more responsible for who I am today than he knows. And that I'm grateful and I love him. And I'm excited for what he still has in store in his journey.
I think he'll enjoy hearing that. Is there something you want to tell your kids?
There's nothing to tell them today that I don't tell them every day. Or most of the days. I want more hugs. I want more conversation. And I want to know what you want more of so I can give it to you.
Thank you.
The reason I struggle mm-hmm. to not tear up mm-hmm. or to not cry mm-hmm. is not because I think there's anything, like, it's an emotion and you feel it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how people talk when they're crying. Like, how do people do that? You see them having a normal conversation, they're weeping, but their voice sounds like this.
Who?
In the movies, they're like weeping and they're like, that was the best thing you ever did. I wish I could say everything while crying. but I can't. I can't even speak.
Because you're like still holding yourself back.
No, I can't. I was just like, like I can't even understand what I'm saying. The words don't come out. How do you do that? How do you speak while you're crying?
I do that.
You're crying and you're talking. You're just like, and you just keep going.
I don't know.
My words don't even come out.
I think you said it beautifully, sweetheart.
I know, but I had to stop are we going to make them wait 35 seconds while I was like composing myself? I can't speak. If someone can teach me how to speak through crying, I'll be crying all the time.
I don't think you would be
No,
crying.
if I get choked up, I want to cry, but I don't because I have to communicate later.
Okay. Maybe you should work on that.
How? Where? Like, send me a link.
BetterHelp.
Call the... I don't think that's how it works. You don't just like... I want to learn a theatrical skill. I want to learn how to use my vocal cords while...
that you have to first learn to let it go, and then you can...
Like my son. Then you can clean it up. He has no problem letting it go. Your face, on the floor, anywhere. Okay, I'll work on that. But if anyone's actually can speak while crying and they figured that out, let me know. Maybe you have to like flex your core and like, flex your left butt cheek or something, and all of a sudden your vocal cords work.
I think that's
not how it works.
No, it's not how it works. There was a song that we heard for the first time when we were together, and I looked over at you. We were in the concert, and I looked over at you, and you were like, your eyes were welling with tears, and I feel like it just hit you in the perfect, like, when they say that the song gives you all the feels. It might seem silly talking about this now, 'cause you just came about, you're sleeping in my hands.
They did fit.
But fathers always get to be first loves. I know I'm the one you measure them against. And we'll push, yeah, we'll fight. We won't see eye to eye. I know you'll find love all on your own. And when it's time, if I've done it right, only a good man will feel like home. What's happening?
You. Very special.
Do you want to check your mic like Dada checks his mic? Does it work?
You see, it went all the way up. Look,
I think you're good. Are you good to go? Oh my God. There's more of them.
Look at the bar.
Yeah.
Hey!
So today we're talking about your dad.
My dad.
Mm-hmm. He's a pretty cool guy, huh?
My dad.
Yep.
Pretty cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
If you had to describe your
My
dad
dad.
in 3 words,
3 words.
how would you describe him?
He's really funny.
He is really funny.
Probably know that.
Yeah.
You better. And then he's really smart.
He is really smart.
And he's... funny? Smart. And he's... I have 2 words.
Okay, go ahead.
He's kind and thoughtful.
Kind and thoughtful. Those are good words. I like that. Can you think back to like the best memory, the funniest memory, or the sweetest memory you have with Dada?
The funniest memory?
Yeah.
The time when he had to clean up Jay's barf.
We actually talked about that earlier.
Really?
That was one of our funniest memories too. Is that your funniest memory?
One of many.
Yeah, one of many. We have a lot of fun memories, right, with Dada making us laugh. What is the best thing about Dada?
Well, my favorite thing about him is that he's super funny and he makes people laugh like when they're not feeling happy, he makes them laugh and then they're happy
It's like a
again.
superpower. Yeah. Okay. And what makes him different from other Dadas?
He shakes his food.
He what? He shakes his food?
That just came to my head.
He shakes his food?
Yeah, no, when he's eating something in a handful, he goes like this and then he goes like that.
Okay.
No one else does that.
No one else does that. All right. Does he give good hugs?
Yeah.
Yeah. And good kisses?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's really loving, huh? Yeah. If you could tell Dada anything right now, what would it be?
Thank you for being the best dad ever.
That's great. Thank you. You're
You're
all done.
welcome.
Do you know why you're here?
Not really.
No?
Kind
Do
of.
you have a guess? What are you doing here?
Same thing as for Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm. For Mother's Day again?
Mm-hmm.
You're here to tell me how much you love me? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Except we're going to do it for Dada. Can you tell me what you love the most about your dad?
He, takes time out of his work to help me with stuff if I need it.
Mhm.
Or to go on bike rides with us.
Mm-hmm.
Or to get Dunkin' in the morning with us.
He gives you a lot of his time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you had to describe him in 3 words, what would they be?
Funny.
Mm-hmm.
It would be caring, and it would be, can I do 4 words?
Sure.
Hardworking.
Hardworking. He is very hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Can you think back on the best memory that you have with your dad?
I have a lot of good memories. One of my favorites is when I had my last concussion,
Mm-hmm.
when he took me to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite memories
Why? How so?
because I was 6
Yeah.
and I couldn't look at screens or lights,
Mm-hmm.
and movement made me nauseous. So
he stood in front of you and he went like this all day with a
No.
flashlight in his hand.
he picked me up when we got. So he drove me to the hospital,
Yeah.
and driving in the car kind of made me feel like I was gonna throw up. So and I couldn't walk
Mm-hmm.
straight. It was I was really dizzy and nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
And he picked me up and put me on his back, and he was kind of
Mm-hmm.
cheering me up and telling me jokes. And then as we were about to walk in, he took 2 steps in through this big automatic doors, and I was like, I'm gonna throw up. And he took 2 steps backwards, and I threw up over his shoulder.
Did you hit him with it?
And I hit his foot. It hit his shoes, so
Yeah.
his shoes has a little stain on it, one of his shoes. And he was like, yuck, now let's get inside. And he took me inside, and I really liked that.
Throwing up on Dada's shoe?
Well, no, that's just one of my favorite memories that I have with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
You know what's so funny? One of my favorite memories also involved you vomiting. But it wasn't that.
apparently I like vomiting.
Do you know which memory that is?
The one where I threw up on you?
No.
Oh.
Remember you
throw up on
laughed
him?
so hard
Oh,
that you
that.
threw up?
That's also one of my favorite memories.
Yeah.
He made me laugh while I was drinking water, and I choked on the water and threw up on the floor. But the best part about it is he had to clean it up. So I just went and took a shower, and then he was sitting there cleaning it up.
Yeah.
My last memory that I love about him
Mm-hmm.
is I have a memory where we were on the pond skating,
Mm-hmm.
and he was pushing me around in this little crate, and I was going really fast, and it was fun, in a milk crate.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite memories too.
Will you look into the camera and tell your dad something special for Father's Day?
Thank you for bringing a lot of joy into this family, even when it's not, and even when nobody's in a great mood, you kind of bring everybody into a good mood. And thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to just hang out with everyone. And I love you.